I've used a lot of folding phones in my lifetime, and I think the OnePlus Open might be my favorite foldables. And here are 7 reasons why. But before I jump into that, just want to give a quick shout out to my partner Mint Mobile. They currently offer a 5G plan for as low as $15 a month. You get access to high-speed data, unlimited text, and phone calls. And for limited time only, Black Friday deal, you buy 3 months, you get 3 months free. So make sure to check them out, link in the description below. And if you're new here, I'm Ton Mobile. I like to do day-in-the-life videos of the current phone I'm using. This is my 1-week recap of the OnePlus Open. It is not my final review, but so far I do like the OnePlus Open a lot. And first reason why I like the OnePlus Open more than the other big folding phones out there is the fact that it is cheaper. It is listed at $1,700 compared to the $1,800 of the Google Pixel Fold and also the Galaxy Z Fold 5. So right off the bat, you have a lower price point, which is a big thumbs up. It is still super expensive. I would like to see all these folding phones eventually make their way towards the $1,000 mark, but it is what it is, early technology, and I would take some savings over none. Of course, you can always find deals. Next on the list is the weight. The OnePlus Open is much lighter than the Galaxy Z Fold 5 and also the Pixel Fold. Pixel Fold feels like you're holding a brick at all times, and it gets really heavy when you're using it with one hand. The OnePlus Open is actually a smidge lighter than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Not the brand new 15 Pro Max with all that titanium marketing mumbo jumbo, but lighter does make the phone easier to use. And I think that is a big difference for me when using the OnePlus compared to the prior folding phones that I've used. With the OnePlus Open, you're actually getting more stuff inside of the box. When you first buy the phone, you literally get a bigger box. You get a charging brick, which none of the other big manufacturers are offering anymore. On top of that, you have faster charging, so you have 67 watt fast charging compared to the 25 or 30 watt, whatever the other manufacturers are offering these days. So you get faster charging and it's included in the box. All the other carriers, you have slower charging and you have to go and buy the brick if you don't already have one. Number 5 reason why I like the OnePlus Open more than the other foldables is just because of the fact that the battery life is really good. I have averaged more than 24 hours of battery life under light usage, light to moderate usage, and under heavy usage, I'm still getting anywhere from 17 to 20 hours of battery life. But overall, this battery life is much better than any of the other Android phones I've used in the past. It's on par with the iPhone 15 Pro Max as well. I've never gotten full 24 hours of battery life until I used the iPhone 15 Pro Max and now the OnePlus Open. So really impressed with the battery life. And the OnePlus does a really good job with the crease as well on this phone. You don't really notice it. I don't even think about it at all on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't even cross my mind unless you're at an angle and you tilt it to the side, you put on table, you glance at it, you'll be able to see the crease. But for the most part, they didn't 100% get rid of the crease, but I would say it's 80 to 90% of the way, which is much better than Samsung and Google. I would say those phones are more in the 50 to 65% range just in terms of visibility. I do notice the crease on those phones a lot of times. And finally, I like the outer display on the OnePlus Open more than the other 2 phones. Actually, I don't mind the Pixel Fold. The Pixel Fold has a pretty big outer display. It is a passport shape, kind of squarish, but at the same time, when I use the Fold for a long period of time, since the phone is so heavy, I do feel obligated to open it up and use it more. But with the OnePlus Open, it is a perfect screen size at roughly 6.3 inches, so it feels like a regular smartphone. You can just use it as a regular smartphone. And when I use it, just the outer display alone, I don't feel forced or obligated to open up the phone unless I really want to. Every time I pick up the Galaxy Z Fold 5, I feel obligated to open it up because the screen on the outside is so small that even though you have full functionality, doing a lot of things, it is very limited. But with the OnePlus Open, I can just use the outside like a normal screen. I don't feel restricted. I don't feel forced to open the phone. Of course, when I want to play games, when I want to watch video, I open it up and use it and get the best of both worlds. Versus the Galaxy Z Fold 5, I feel like I don't get the best of both worlds. I feel like I always need two hands to use the phone. And when I use it with one hand, it gets really heavy and it's pretty limited due to the long, narrow screen. And with the Galaxy Z Fold 5, since it's so long and narrow, I find myself having to tilt the phone a lot to always reach the top. And that is a very dangerous maneuver due to the fact that it is a heavy and expensive phone. The more you tilt and turn, you're more likely to drop it. The phone itself is also slippery. So there's a lot of risk using Galaxy Z Fold 5 versus the OnePlus Open. Since the screen is about 6.3 inches, it's on the smaller side, but just the perfect size really for me. Like, I don't find myself having to tilt a lot just to reach this tiny icon at the top hand corner. For the most part, I can manage a lot of things with one hand. It does still feel a little bit heavy though. It's not as light as those Xiaomi folding phone. So I do like to see these manufacturers make the phone smaller and lighter, but we are one step in the right direction. And the biggest downside of the OnePlus Open and all OnePlus phone in general is just the camera. It's not as good as Pixel sampling in Apple, let's just put it that way. But the benefit of having Android is you can always sideload certain apps. So I just did a quick Google search, Gcam APK, I installed the APK in this phone. So currently I'm recording this video on the OnePlus Open with 7% battery life, and I'm using the Google camera application. So let me know how the video quality looks at the end of this. I won't really know until I start editing. Let me do a quick check just to make sure I still have battery and I'm not just talking to a dead phone. Okay, we got 4% battery left. Already recorded for about 8 minutes. Let me wrap this up in the next 2 minutes or so. I'll talk about some of the things I don't like about it. It's just the camera. Taking pictures isn't all that great, but like I mentioned, I sideloaded the Google camera app, so I'm going to test that out more, see how well it works with this phone just in terms of video recording and photos. I think there's some hope there, but anytime you sideload one of those Gcam apps, it's a little bit funky. It can be slower. Not all the application and software features work in there, so that is a downside. But if you're getting OnePlus phone, you're not really getting it for the camera. You're getting it for the performance, the processor, the fast speed, and all those other cool stuff, the super fast charging and things like that. If you want a really good camera, get an iPhone 15 Pro Max, get a Galaxy S23 Ultra, Pixel 8 Pro. There are a lot of other options there. But in terms of folding phone and just getting a pure good folding phone experience, I think the OnePlus Open does a lot of things really well. One thing that is missing from OnePlus phone though that I do want to point out is it's missing a desktop mode. It doesn't have Samsung DeX or anything like that. I heard Phone Link and its additional features going to come the way into OnePlus Open. I dabbled a little bit with that, but for now I don't really have access to all the application and use my phone on the computer the way that I can with Samsung DeX. So that's still missing. It's not something I use every day, but it would have been nice to have, especially having this large phone. And it is only IPX4 water resistant, so it's half of what the Galaxy Z Fold and the Pixel are offering. So I mean, it should be fine. The splash proof, I can listen to music in the shower. I'm not going to dive into the pool or anything like that. I would have liked to see dust resistant though, because the screen is still pick up a good amount of dust. It's not the end of the world. I like how Moto Razr Plus, it does not dust resistant, but they got rid of water resistant. So it's personal preference, but some people don't mind looking at a dirty screen. For me, it does catch my attention. So it does have some water resistant, but it's not as high as the other folding phones. And that's pretty much it, just in terms of some of the downside. The camera, the water resistant. I guess it doesn't have wireless charging, but that doesn't really bother me. If I have 67 watt fast charging and my phone can last more than a day, it's not the end of the world to plug it in at night before you go to bed, or even during the day, just plug it in for 30 to 45 minutes. That should almost fully charge the phone, if not fully charge the phone. So a lot of good stuff here about the OnePlus Open. I'm really excited about it. I've been iffy with folding phones in the past. I have tried using them, but I always like the idea of it than actually using it. But I think OnePlus strike a really good balance between all the foldables. Of course, for the big folding phones, it's more expensive. You get into tablet experience. For the small folding phones like the clamshell shaped Galaxy Z Flip 5, Moto Razr Plus, those phones are nice if you want something you can neatly fold up and put away. But on a day-to-day basis, when you use them, you have to open it up every single time. Can get very annoying. I guess the solution to that is you can just leave it open at all times, so you wouldn't need to open and close it. There's always some risk with the hinge and things like that over time, but I think it should be strong enough to handle that. But regardless, I think the OnePlus Open is doing a really good job with having a tablet experience, a great big outside display, an awesome battery life. It is much lighter than any of the other major folding phones I have used. It does a really good job with the Crease, and overall really happy with it. After 1 week, I'm going to continue doing my daily reviews for a couple of more weeks before making a final decision. But so far, so good with the OnePlus Open. Let me know if you guys have any questions, thoughts, or concerns in the comments below. And thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Please check out my daily 6 in the life video if you haven't already, and see you guys in the next video.